Bam, son! This is Shoot It Straight, the podcast where life lessons don't come sugar-coated and excuses get bitched.
I'm Randy Black, podcast guy, professional question asker, and apparently the only one here who doesn't yell "Bam, son" in public.
Well, we're working on that, Randy. I'm Jim Clayton, coach, mentor, motivator, and the guy who still thinks a whistle may be the best motivational tool known to man.
Each week, we're taking what Jim's learned from the court, the drills, the discipline, the drive, and translating it into real-world success.
That's right. This ain't just about basketball. It's about showing up when life presses full court. It's about pushing through when the clock's ticking down.
If you're looking for fluff, well, you might just want to ride the bench.
We're here to help you believe bigger, achieve louder, and motivate stronger. So buckle up, and whatever you do, keep shooting it straight. Bam, son!
Welcome back to Shooting It Straight. I'm Randy Black, joined by my co-host,
Coach Jim Clayton.
And we are live once again from the Sports City U studio in Hurricane, West Virginia. You can join us live each week if you're not listening to us live on Thursday evenings at approximately 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time by heading over to shootingitstraightpodcast.com/live or by following the show in a modern podcast app, and you'll get a notification when we're recording each episode live each week. We also have a Discord community you can join. It's a great place where listeners can connect, they can ask questions, they can share insights, and you can keep the conversation going beyond the podcast. And you can join the community by heading over to shootingitstraightpodcast.com/Discord. And we also have a Facebook page dedicated to the podcast where you can see updates and posts as well that are related to the show. You can head over to shootingitstraightpodcast.com/Facebook to access that page and give us a follow. Now that we got the announcements out of the way, let's dive in here, Jim.
Let's go.
Most of us think productivity is about getting more done in less time by finding the right app, the perfect planner, or the latest system to keep us organized. But here's the truth. Before you ever open your calendar or you ever write your to-do list, the real work begins inside your head. Your mindset is either propelling you forward or it's quietly holding you back. If you see failure as the end of the road, you'll stop trying. If you believe that success only comes through grinding harder, you might burn out before you ever get there. But when you shift your mindset, you start to see challenges as opportunities. When you recognize that progress often comes from working smarter, not just harder, everything changes. Today, we're going to shoot it straight about the productivity mindset. We'll dig into why it matters, how procrastination sneaks in, and what it really means to work hard versus working smart, and how small daily habits can transform your results over time. So let's get started. So when people talk about productivity, they usually think about a strategy, what tools they're using, how they're organizing their time, but it actually starts with something very much deeper. It starts with your mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck introduced the idea of fixed mindset versus growth mindset. And it has everything to do with how you approach challenges and setbacks.
A growth mindset is when students believe that their abilities can be developed. A fixed mindset is when they think, I just have a certain amount and that's it.
That is a powerful distinction. A fixed mindset, and Jim, you are familiar with both these terms because as a former educator, myself working in education, we talk about this all the time. A fixed mindset says, I either have the ability or I don't. And if I fail, that just proves I wasn't cut out for it. But a growth mindset sees failure as part of the process. Does that sound a little familiar, Jim?
Oh, 100%.
It's a chance for us to learn and to improve.
Well, as we talked about earlier, most people think that success and failure are opposites. Actually, you can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
And they run side by side in life, parallel down the road that you're on. And, but when we talk about the fixed mindset, a lot of that we have created.
Mm-hmm.
We've created this fixed mindset because everything's based on perfection. And we know that doesn't exist.
Right.
So in education, for example, everybody's got to make the A's. Everybody has to have the highest grade in the class. Everybody's got to do this. Everybody's got to do that.
Mhm.
Now, we also know that the people that do that all the time, the ones that are that successful in the education world, when they get outside those four walls of that classroom and they get attacked by the real world,
Mhm.
some of them aren't very successful.
Yeah.
Because you have to do a little bit of thinking outside the box.
Mhm.
Okay. And we've created this mess. Well, I'm not very smart. I can't do this. No, that's just not your gift.
Mhm.
And what we've done in the past, if we try to treat everybody equal, well, everybody's not equal.
Exactly.
Okay. So, it's like guys that are going to be auto mechanics and heating and air.
Plumbers.
They don't need to be diagramming sentences
Mhm.
in English class.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time, effort, energy, and then they just turn it off.
Yes.
And, they get burned out on the whole
Mhm.
thing, and then they become a nightmare in your classroom.
Yep.
And, burnout occurs with students in education where two things happen. One, they're not learning anything that's
Mhm.
applying to them, and they're not having any fun. And every day this week, I'll give you a classic example. Every kid that's come in the gym,
Mhm.
how's school go? Good. I said this to probably 25 students.
Mhm.
Tell me something cool that you learned this week.
Yeah.
I was 0 for 20.
Yeah.
Not one kid said, man, I learned,
Mhm.
not one.
I know the feeling. If I ask my son, I get the same thing.
And as an educator, you see, that just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I'm saying, y'all said, let me get this right. You just spent 8 hours with somebody, and you didn't come up with one cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they teach by the book.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't teach by stories, by circumstances, things of that nature. And, that mindset, man, I'm going to tell you, that's the button that flips it on and flips it off.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me personally, when I look at players, when I look at people in general or students, when,
Right.
in a classroom educational setting, I look at you totally different. I look right through the crap.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at, man, this person could be this
Yeah.
if they knew they could. But see, that takes a little extra effort.
Hmm.
That takes extra. See, that's that thing that some people just have that gift where they can see it
Mm-hmm.
and then they know how to bring it out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want the fire lighter.
Mm-hmm.
I want the one that's going to make that flame bigger. I don't want the firefighter that's going to put the flame out unless my house is on fire.
Yeah.
And then I definitely want that guy. But see, we've got so many people that put that fire out. And, I'm kind of harping on education, but a couple of weeks ago, I went down to Martin County, Kentucky to speak to all the staff. And I was talking about mindset. Okay. And I said, I've been in a lot of these meetings. First day back on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Principal's up there talking, you have a speaker, whatever. And guys in the back going, man, I've been doing this for 39 years, 40 years. By God, I know what I'm doing. I don't give about any of this crap. I'm going to do it my way. Da-da-da-da-da. It's already, and you know who I feel sorry for? I don't feel sorry for the teacher. I feel sorry for the students in that guy's class or that woman's class.
Because he's going to keep doing things the way he's always done.
And you know what
he's
that
not trying to
does?
innovate.
That keeps people down.
Yeah.
And then when you keep holding people down like that, instead of being an overachiever, those people are always the underachievers of the world.
Yeah.
And then guess whose fault it is? Not my fault. Because I don't teach like that. I don't communicate like that. I don't coach like that.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's just, it's enthusiasm is caught. It's not taught.
Yeah.
Excitement.
It reminds me of, I don't know if you remember this or not. There were many years ago, all the teachers in Cabell County schools had to go to the auditorium at City Hall in Huntington. And we heard a gentleman speak.
I was there.
Ian Jukes he had a term he had coined, tatwadi. That's the way we've always done it. That's a fixed mindset because you're not trying to make a change. You're not trying to push forward and use what's there for you to make it better. And it was a powerful speech that he gave, but I heard so many people coming out of there. Why do we waste our time with this? Why did we do this? Blah, blah. And it's disheartening as a young educator, because this was early. Like, this was like maybe second or third, if at the max, year for me. So this was, 20 years ago, 18 years ago. it had a powerful impact on me, but I saw so many people just dog on it and hate on it, and there was no need for it.
You're 100% right. And, how are you going to determine whether somebody has the ability because they can't pass this test?
Yeah.
Okay. When you went for a job interview or I went for a job, I said, what was your score on your ACT and SAT? They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
What you get in that class, they don't care. But see, that's how we teach them.
It is.
And it's all wrong. It's all backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a result, if you look at the situation we're in now with the education in our country, it's all off the charts, baby.
Oh, we spend more money per capita and have less results. It's
so
just
what's
ridiculous.
that tell you? Oh, that's an automatic thing.
We're doing something that isn't working.
That's exactly right. And the old saying, if you want to keep on getting what you're getting,
mm-hmm.
just keep on doing what you're doing. Things don't happen by chance. They happen by the one word everybody hates, change.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I don't want to change.
Seems like we keep coming back to that a lot, Jim.
Oh, it's never going to go away. It's just never going to go away. And, most people don't even know they need to be on a growth journey.
Yeah, true.
They don't even know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they just think everything's just going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
No, we talked about this last week. You don't become great at anything accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
It all has to be intentional.
Yes.
And so everybody's stuck in this term busyness.
Mm-hmm.
Busyness. I'm busy. I'm busyness. Well, that doesn't equal productivity.
No. We covered that very, very well last week.
And it does not necessarily mean you're going to accomplish anything.
Exactly. You can be successful. Like I said last week, you can be successful and you can be as busy as you want to be, but it doesn't mean you've produced anything. You haven't been productive.
And if you're successful, okay, you're going to get the results you want. And you're going to get the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get the people right along with it. But see, most people don't even know what people's strengths are.
Right.
And they don't allow them to do what they really could do because they don't know. They don't even know what their strength is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's their goal for this year? Okay. And again, a teacher can have the best vision. A boss, anybody knows this can have a great vision. And it might be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But if the troops don't buy into the vision, forget it.
Ain't going to work.
It's not going to work. Not going to work. And people don't know how to flip that.
Yes. They don't know how to, a growth mindset is not something that you just have. You have to work at it. You have to try.
Intentionally.
Yes. It's not something that's just innate. It's like we've talked about with resilience. Resilience isn't innate.
Nope.
You have to work at it. Growth mindset is the same thing.
100%.
Here's an example I have in my notes to kind of illustrate it a little more for folks who are listening. So, everyday life, you're doing things, you're working. So let's say you're doing a presentation. You're at your job. So let's say I'm giving a presentation to teachers about something we're doing in the technology department, and I botch it. I completely mess it up. I fall flat on my face. I look like a fool. If I had a fixed mindset about it, I'm going to say, well, I'm just not a good speaker. It wasn't my day. But if I have a growth mindset, I'm going to say something like, that was rough, but now I know what to work on for the next time.
Oh, 100%.
I'm going to try to find the way to get better.
And everybody that's great in the IT business is not necessarily good at speaking in front of people and doing presentations.
Yes.
So you're again, that might be out of their realm, okay? But they still need to know how to communicate because the bottom line here is everything comes down to relationships with the people that you're working with. Whatever that is, whatever form that is. And when you have a great relationship with everybody involved, it makes it, when you walk in, man, the energy is just what? So I'll give you a classic example. Today I stopped in over at a place called The Bridge. It's right across the Chesapeake Bridge.
Yeah.
And it's a physical therapy place.
Right.
Well, I jacked up my shoulder a little bit a couple of weeks ago when I was avoiding a flood situation at my house. And somewhere along there, man, my shoulder's been bothering me. So I said, man, I'm going to go over here and see these guys. And I just ask them some questions. And if I need to get in here, man, I just want to find out where I need to go. I walked in there. Man, that place was booming. I mean, it was booming. Man, people were doing stuff excited. They said, hey, Coach, I said, hey, how you guys doing, man? I missed you. I see and it was just, you could tell they have just exploded. Everybody was pumped, you know what I mean? It was just, the atmosphere was contagious.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder they're doing well, because it's fun to go there, especially when you're going to do something, to rehab something that you've injured that ain't really fun doing it. And there's going to be a little bit of pain involved. Okay.
Yeah. I've been there with a neck issue.
When somebody knows I'm going to go through pain, but I'm going to have fun doing it with people I like and I'm around and the whole thing, man, that's when you know you got it going on.
Yeah.
And I just had the best time in there. So he gave me some stuff to do. I'm going to go do it, see how it works. If it doesn't, I'm going to call my doctor, and then I'll go in there and let him help me fix it up.
Yeah.
But it was just the atmosphere now. And how much bigger they've gotten. There's just, it's not a huge place, but it was jam-packed.
Yeah.
And everybody was doing stuff.
But here's the way to tie this back in with this, is that you're wanting to see the success from it. You're wanting the growth that comes from doing the work to get your shoulder back in place.
And they're helping you do it.
There's people who would sit there and go, I'll just deal with it.
Oh.
And that's the kind of, it's another perfect example of this idea of growth versus fixed mindsets. Do you want to achieve? Do you want to do better? Do you want to grow?
Yes. But unfortunately, I don't want to do what it takes to do that. So guess what? Well, it's not going to happen.
Exactly. So for everybody who's listening out there, either live or on the recording of this episode, here's a quick kind of gut check for you. The last time you failed at something, how did you respond? Did you treat it like it was the end of the road, or did you see it as part of the journey? Your answer will tell you a lot about your productivity mindset. Are you a fixed mindset, or are you of a growth mindset? But mindset is the foundation. But even if you're thinking with a growth mindset, there's still another enemy that we've all got to face, and that's procrastination. Here's the thing. Procrastination is not laziness. It goes much deeper than that. In fact, author and speaker Mel Robbins, she explains that procrastination, she explains it in a way that I think really gets to the heart of it. She says procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's actually a habit, and it's one that we use to cope with stress. So here is a clip of Mel breaking down why procrastination isn't about being lazy at all, but really it's all about how we respond to stress.
Procrastination is a form of stress relief. Let me explain this. So let's say that you've got some stuff going on in your life, and heck, who doesn't have stuff going on in your life? Maybe you're fighting with your significant other. Maybe mom's or dad's health is failing and it's really, really upsetting you. Maybe you've got some financial stuff. You put too much of your savings into Bitcoin, and now that that's crashed, you're stressed out about it, right? And so you go into work, and when you get into work, you got stuff to do. You kind of walk in and you got this big stress ball that subconsciously is hanging over your head. And so you walk in and you sit down, and you know you got 13 phone calls you need to make. And you also know that you've been chickening out, you've been making easy calls, and there's a bunch of CIOs or other people that are higher level that you haven't been calling. And so as you sit down to do it, and you got the stress on your shoulders, your brain it starts to go, wait a minute, well, you want me to make a call to somebody that I'm scared to make? Absolutely not. I'm so stressed out about, can we just watch some cat videos for a minute? And next thing you know, an hour's gone by. And then, of course, what do? You beat yourself up. So the only way that you can break this habit, and that's an important word for you to hear, you're not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating. Big difference.
I love how she frames that, Jim, because it flips the way that most of us think about procrastination. It's not that you're lazy, it's that your brain is trying to escape stress. But the problem is, instead of reducing stress, procrastination just piles on more of it right on top.
Excuse me, 100%. It's John Maxwell calls this the law of diminishing intent.
Mm-hmm.
And what that says is, the longer you put off doing something that you know you should do, the less likely is it's ever going to happen.
Yes.
And boy, isn't that true? We've all done that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we don't want to do it. We're not comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're out of sometimes that puts you out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on how big that zone is. See, if the zone is really tight, there's not much room for growth.
Yeah.
So you want one that's what? It's big.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's big. It's big. And, you find reasons. Sometimes with procrastination for me, if I put something off, I always ask myself, did I really want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Because, if I really want to do something bad enough, I'm going to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to stop me. But if I'm not 100% sure I want to do it, sometimes I'll let it sit on the back burner a little bit. And then something will come around that will reignite it.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll think about it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll bring it back to the front.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe not.
Yeah.
But, it's just, procrastination, I think the word that goes with procrastination is preparation.
Okay.
Because when you procrastinate and you got to do something,
mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden the time is here and it's on, and you haven't done what you're supposed to be doing, and you're going to use the yank method to get up there and try to wing it,
mm-hmm.
you're a nervous wreck.
Mm-hmm.
When you know what's going to happen, and you know what you're going to say, and you know how you're going to say it, and in order you're going to do it, guess what?
Oh, yeah. I think about, from a classroom perspective, when I was teaching is, that kid that you catch cheating. He spent all this time, preparing to cheat when he could have spent all that same time studying to prepare to take the test. It's the same idea. He was procrastinating the studying, trying to find another way to do it. It's like, say you're at work and you've got a report you got to write. Instead, you sit down and you scroll through your phone because you're trying to keep from having to do it. Or let's say, we're both married individuals, and sometimes you have to have a tough conversation with your spouse. More so, it's probably the wife having the tough conversation with us, but it comes along and suddenly that conversation needs to happen, and you're kind of like, well, I really need to go clean the garage, or I really need to go mow the grass. You're trying to find a way to get out of it, to procrastinate dealing with it, because it's not about the laziness. It's about avoiding the stress that comes with the situation.
And when the stress comes with it, what else comes? Pressure.
Yes.
See, the pressure cooker starts getting, it's about to bust because of the stress. All right? So for me, what de-stresses me when I'm just totally in relaxed mode, everything's done. It's all been done. See, it's the preparation. And then I just go into mode. Okay? But when I'm not prepared, I got this, do I have this right? So you question yourself. And then when you start to question yourself, no one's more qualified to be you than you. Why should you be questioning yourself? Then that's when the pressure and the stress starts to mount.
Yeah.
And then that's when we run from it.
Yeah. We have to look for ways to break the cycle.
Yeah.
And because it's a stress-related thing, one of the ways you can do that is to just take whatever it is that's stressing you, whatever that task is, and start breaking it down into something that's smaller. Someone, I can't remember who, because I don't have it in my notes, but I read about the 5-minute rule. Okay. The 5-minute rule comes in and says, tell yourself, I'm just going to do this for 5 minutes. So starting small calms down the stress response. And once you've started, momentum usually will kick in and things will get rolling and you'll be able to keep making your way through. I remember sitting in a training. It was a summer training by a group called APL Associates. They were based out of New York. One of the guys who was there with them, I'm actually friends with him on Facebook now. His name's Jim Zalonis. Jim is from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. McKeesport, Pennsylvania is the home of the Little League World Series. And sorry, not Jim, John Zalonis. John was a high school football coach in Pennsylvania. He's well known, but he prefers to be more well known for what he did as a teacher. And he talked about using this rule because I can recall, like he said, set a timer, buy a cheap little timer for your classroom, set that timer. And when you're first starting to do real instruction with your students, when you're really diving in on content, set that timer for 5 minutes, let it go, and at the end of 5 minutes, take a break. What's that do? It gives your brain a chance to take a break, and especially gives the kids their brain a chance to take a break. And it breaks down, because you may have to spend a whole bunch of time talking through this content, and the longer you're talking, the more likely you're going to lose them. So give them a chance to have that break. And it goes right along with this 5-minute rule. And I learned that from John. Awesome guy. Still, like I said, I'm friends with him on Facebook now. And he's still out there sharing some really good stuff with what he's done in education. But the next time you kind of catch yourself starting to procrastinate, this is for the listeners, don't beat yourself up over it. It's not worth it. It doesn't do any good. Just ask yourself, what stress am I trying to escape right now? That's the trigger. Something else that Mel Robbins said, and I didn't keep it in the recording, is that you're never going to eliminate the trigger. The trigger's always going to be there. You have to recognize it. You have to shrink down the task. You'll be surprised how quickly you can break the habit. And that's the key. It is a habit, and habits can be changed. Procrastination is not about being lazy. It's a habit you've learned for whatever reason. And the whole thing is, once we start moving, once we start going on the task, it's not just about putting in the hours. It's about how we use them. Think about it, Jim. You've got kids here who come in and shoot for an hour. And in that hour, they may shoot 500 shots. That's pretty good. But if they're shooting 500 shots and not using the correct form and not doing it correctly,
not going to get your outcome.
They're wasting their time. They're not going to get the outcome.
Well, yeah.
It's the same idea.
Yeah. Improvement requires commitment to growth and effort.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to want to get better, and you got to put the effort in.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, I'm not sure they want to get better, and therefore, guess what? The effort's not there.
Yeah.
And consequently, improvement does not happen.
Yeah.
Okay? Those are underachievers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Those are your average people. And you know what average to me is, don't you? The best to the worst, okay, top or the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's average.
Yeah.
And when I ask people that, I said, do you really want to be average? Something tells me you don't really want it. They go, no, I don't. Then you can't do what average people do. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't do it. And, again, procrastination, you talk about smaller. We've talked about this earlier. Break it down into, nothing motivates people like success.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just have a little tidbit of success, those are your little victories.
Yes.
Every day you get a little victory.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to gain a little what? See, I know people, and I've had businesses where they looked at me and said, man, that's awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I'm trying to reach this guy. Oh, I know that guy. Well, can you call him for me? They can't call him. But they know him.
Mm-hmm.
Same reason. Can't call him because they don't know what to say. I said, well, it's not a scripted thing. He's your buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Break the ice.
Yes.
Can't do it. Pressure. And then here it comes. They put it what? Well, have you talked to him today? No, I haven't. I haven't had a chance to. I've been busy. Oh, here we go again with busyness. And then guess what? It never happens.
Yeah.
It's not that they can't. They've just stressed out over it. And that's exactly what you're talking about right here.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of, and it leads us further into the conversation here, and it's the difference between working hard and working smart. And it shows up in how you respond and how you do things. Because working hard is about effort. It's about the long hours you put in, the late nights, the grind you have to go through. Working smart is about the strategy. It's knowing where to focus your energy so that the work you do actually moves the needle. I did a podcast for a while called EdTech Shorts, and I just took quick, simple tips dealing with educational technology to share with teachers. And in doing so, my tagline was about helping them find ways to work smarter, not work harder. And it was about finding ways to help them find a strategy, find a tool, find something that helps them to be more productive in what they're doing in their classroom. So, Jim, the whole idea, the whole concept of working harder versus working smarter. I know this is something you fully grasp and understand.
Oh, gosh. I go places and I see all kinds of things going on, and everybody just looks at the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. But then if you really start to dissect it a little bit and look down, there ain't nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, busyness doesn't guarantee results. Okay. Productivity of what you're talking about right there comes from focused, intentional action rather than just being active.
Yes.
Okay. Now, again, effort, I always tell people 2 things a coach should never have to coach: your effort and your attitude. And most people that have lack of effort have a bad attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if your effort's not there, my question is, do you really want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to do this? Now, somebody might want you to do this, but do you really want to do this? Your mom and dad might want you to do it, but they're not you.
Right.
And that's never going to work. And then parents do this all the time. They fork all this money out. And then all of a sudden, the kid gets about 8th or 9th grade and goes, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on a minute. We spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And too bad. They don't care. They're done.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good investment. Not a good return on your money. Okay? Because, again, you got to work smart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how much you're doing it. Are you doing it right?
Yeah.
Wrong plus wrong produces twice as wrong.
Yeah. Here's an example. So let's say that I've got to do a presentation, and I spend hours formatting slides in PowerPoint and making them as perfect as I can, and I spend all this time just trying to be visually impressive when I could have spent 30 minutes outlining, these are my key points. I can practice going through my delivery, and I can make sure that what I'm doing is not busy work. It's actually going to improve the outcome.
And the way, 100%, and the way to change that working hard versus working smart is beat them at their own game.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we're learning. Boom, boom, boom. 3 things.
Yeah.
Here's why we're learning. Boom, boom, boom. Here's how you're going to use it in your life today.
Yeah.
Got them. No closed mindset, no procrastination. They can't wait.
Uh-huh.
Because you're not, everything's judged in their minds, people's minds, starting at an early age all the way up, A, B, C, D, or F.
Yeah. I hate the letter grading scale with a passion.
Oh, man. Now, I was not a very good student, okay, because I hated school every day I went. I just hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never knew what I was learning, why I was learning, and how I was ever going to use it. So I just decided when I become a teacher, after I finally figured out and went back and says, was the teachers that bad? Was I just the biggest dummy known to man? What was the real root problem and that was the root problem.
Mm-hmm.
So once I identified and went back, I said, I'll be daggone if I'm going to allow that to happen in anything I do the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So here's why we're doing it. Okay. Here's how you're going to use it. And they go, oh, that's simple. Let's just keep it simple. I used the KISS method.
Uh-huh.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
Now, I'm not calling you stupid. Okay. I'm just saying, let's just keep it simple. Don't make it. But see, educators, some people, well, not just educators, but some people, they take the most common, simple sense things and turn them into Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
So complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get it. Well, let me break it down for you. Oh, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, I got it now then. It's just how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it's how and again, coaches, head coaches, assistant coaches, leaders of companies.
Mm-hmm. School administrators.
Oh, yeah. They can see, they can tell.
Yeah.
By your actions, how is your passion. See, because if you have a passion for what you're doing, the energy's coming with it.
Yes.
And the effort. If you're just, you're retired, but you hadn't just turned in your papers yet,
Mm-hmm.
you're going through the motions.
Exactly.
Saw
that a lot.
That's working really dumb.
Yeah.
But they don't care because it never's going to come back
Mm-hmm.
on them.
Yeah.
And see, that's what really burnt me up
Mm-hmm.
is you're going above and beyond the call of duty. And the person next to you is doing nothing. they get the same thing you get.
Yeah. There's no incentive to continue to improve.
No.
In a lot of ways.
No. And so then they finally, after a while, they just go to heck with it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do.
Yeah.
But if that person is still, again, a lot of times when I got into education, I started school teaching in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
My starting salary was $15,000. That ain't much money.
Mm-mm.
But anybody that goes into, there's certain jobs you go into, the income is not going to be outrageous.
Right.
But I figured out real quick, I wasn't doing it for the income.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing it for the outcome.
Yeah.
And that's still to my day. I like I said, when I walk out that door tonight, whether it being up here in the lab
Mm-hmm.
or in the gym lab,
Yep.
we're going out the door sharing things with people tonight. They're going to help them be better tomorrow.
Yes.
The kids that are on that floor with me, they're going out that door better than they came in.
Yes.
And the parents are asking me, well, I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what to. Great questions.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is what I tell them. And this is, they respond. So don't reinvent the wheel here.
Right.
Tell them the same thing.
Yeah. Reinforce it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they look at you like, oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just said something that's
right.
like rocket science and
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean? They just can't figure it out.
Okay. So let me throw this at you real quick, Jim, and see what you think. So a simple habit that can help you to start working smarter, okay? Ask yourself this question every day. What's the one thing I can do today that will have the biggest impact? Focus on that first, and everything else should fall into place around it.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Okay. Like I'm somewhere doing a workout,
mm-hmm.
whether it's a speaking engagement or a training or whatever. And for some reason, I forgot to turn my phone off on silent.
Yeah.
And the phone rings. And everybody's listening to that phone, seeing what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Here's always my response to that. Guess what? I'm so sorry I didn't hit that button. But you know what? The main thing for today,
mm-hmm.
okay, which is the biggest impact, the main thing, I'm looking at the main thing right here.
Yeah.
And you see that whoever on the other end of that call, they're going to wait because the main thing is the main thing. And it makes them feel what?
Feel important.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it shows them that you value them and their time and what they're there for.
And you see, back in the day, I heard this the other day. Back in the day when I grew up, everybody had a porch.
Yeah.
So after you ate as a family, everybody go sit on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
Talking, doing things, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, we'd be out there on the porch talking. And the phone rings. Everybody just look at each other.
Nobody gets up to go get it.
No. And they go, oh, do you hear that? Well, I hear something in there. Well, and the conversation just keeps going on.
Yeah.
So they prioritized the event
yes.
with the family over, could have been today's world, a spam call.
Yeah. Telemarketer or something. Yeah.
Now the phone rings. What's everybody do? Oh, my God, my phone.
Yep.
I'm going like, man, you don't got it all out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to keep the main thing. So whatever the biggest impact is today, what I go to do, that's my main focus, and that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have little turn-offs, little things that'll bench you off that, little veins that'll come off of that.
Yeah.
That'll be right along the same lines. Just make sure that whatever you set out to be that biggest impact, that's what it is that day. And you can't go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Can't ever go wrong.
Yeah. So key takeaway out of this whole idea of working harder versus working smarter is that hard work is important.
No question.
There is a time and a place for it, but it's not enough. If you don't pair it with strategy, with a clear plan to have an impact, you're just spinning your wheels. You're wasting your time. Work smart, and your hard work will actually count. I got chills when I typed that because as it came out of my brain, I was like, "Oh, that's a powerful statement." It really hit home with the idea here. You know, the whole idea is to have a strategy, but one of the most powerful ways that we can work smart is through the small daily habits that we compound over time. And that's what we're going to dig into next, okay?
Well, when you talk about daily habits, let me just say one thing.
Okay.
You can always tell the success of a person by their daily agenda.
Yes.
What they prioritize at the top, all the way down. And what a lot of people don't understand is your day has actually started before you swivel them hips and those feet hit the floor.
Right.
You got a few minutes to open your eyes, reflect. Thank God you're here for another day. You got 24 hours. Here's what's going to happen today. Here's my top priorities. Here's my list I'm going to go down through. And I'm going to take care of everything, okay, before my feet hit the floor. So when my feet hit the floor, I'm running.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't happen accidentally.
No, not at all.
You have to have that set. And then you never notice when you have those days like that, man, the days just go what? It's so much wonderful day.
Oh, yeah. You feel like you've actually gotten something accomplished.
100%. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Like, my routine in the morning, like my wife gets up at 4:45. Way too early for me. But she gets stuff done in the morning before she goes to work. And she has to be at work before I have to be at work. So she's up and she's moving around. And I'm usually by 5:30, I'm probably awake laying there because my alarm doesn't go off till about 6:15. But when I wake up, the first thing I'm doing is I stop, I pray, thank God for the day. I thank God for the chance. When I finish that prayer, I start thinking about what's on my agenda today. What do I need to prioritize? What do I need to make sure happens? Before anything else, what do I need to do first? And I take that time to get myself focused, just like you talked about. I take that time to get myself focused for the day. My wife has no idea I do this, but that's how I handle getting up in the morning. Once I've gone through that routine and everything, I just kind of lay there for a little bit. When my alarm goes off, she's usually fixing her hair, for doing makeup, whatever she's doing. So I just kind of chill, just relax, take that time to enjoy it. And then once I'm up, I'm in the shower, I'm getting ready for work, and I'm out the door within 35, 40 minutes. And I'm on my way to work. And when I get to work, I dive right in and get started.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, what makes my day every day is right about the same time, 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, give or take a second or a minute. I hear this. Here he comes.
Yep, he's laying right here on the floor next to us.
He's whining. Now, he's not whining for me to get up and do anything. He's just telling me he's there.
Yeah.
I just reach my hand over the side of the bed. He walks right up to it, puts his head right in my hand, and I just scratch his head between his ears. I say, I see you, buddy. I know you're here. You're looking out after me. Then he just turns around and lays down. And he won't move till I get up.
Yeah.
It don't matter. But he's talking to me. And that sets my day. Man, somebody's what? And it's a dog.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that gets my brain on the right track.
And it's a matter of, we can work smart all we want, but if we don't have consistency in doing it, if we're not going the right way, we're keeping things going the same way. It's those small daily habits, those small little things, the little tiny things that we do every single day may seem minor to us in the moment, but over time, they build momentum.
And that's the things people overlook.
Yes.
The minute detail. They overlook them because they're looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And the bigger picture is really made up of all those little things. You just can't see it. Can't see it. Some people never will.
Yeah.
Excuse me, unfortunately.
We've talked about how that, with what I do in my day job, working in education and in the IT side of education, that, I'm constantly have to keep improving my skills and I have to keep learning. It's the idea that I have to spend some time in my day looking at something that I don't know anything about so that I can learn about it. And it doesn't seem like much because I don't do a lot. It may be 10 minutes, it may be 15 minutes, it may be 5 minutes. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but over time, reading that, doing the research on something, it all adds up. And that knowledge builds for me to enhance my skill set. And suddenly, I've got this whole big library full of information that helps me in my job. I do the same thing with podcasting. I'm constantly looking at different ideas, different ways people are doing stuff, different tools that are out there. Like my friend, Daniel J. Lewis. Daniel lives over near Cincinnati. Daniel is working on a tool. I'm helping him beta test it right now, that we can take an MP3 file, upload it, and then we can use that to build chapters in the MP3 file. So when it plays back in the podcast player, if somebody wants to go, they don't want to listen to the chapter where we talked about, just earlier, working smarter versus working harder, but they want to hear about the habits, they can just fast forward and go to that next chapter. And he's working on that tool to do that. And seeing that and what he's doing with it, it helps me to see, oh, well, these are some great ideas people are doing. This is some great stuff. And it's constant learning. I know you do the same thing. It's constantly learning to improve the situation and improve the skill set.
Well, learning is a lifelong skill.
Yes.
Never stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the old saying, it's what you learn after you think you know it all that counts.
Yes.
Because everybody
Definitely.
at one time was like, oh, I know all this. I don't need that.
I was there. My dad let me know real quick that I did not know everything I thought I did.
Oh, well, you're going to learn. Everybody knows that. You know what I mean? But you're so right. I mean, you're so right. And for me, it's like when I close out today
mm-hmm.
and I'm reflecting on my day,
mm-hmm.
I got everything done. I'm looking right down through there, my goals for today. I got them all.
Yeah.
Got everyone. Well, I take that back. One I didn't get because I couldn't find it. I was looking for this place. I couldn't find it. And I just said, okay, I'll get it tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off. So I'm still going to get it, but it's just going to be a day.
It may just take a little bit longer.
It doesn't make any difference. It's no big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, when I close out today and reflect on the day I've had, who I met for the first time, met some people today for the first time ever,
mm-hmm.
and different things, I know when I end the day, okay,
mm-hmm.
the first thing is I start tomorrow, my thought is what? I'm already planting a seed. I'm thinking, so tomorrow, it's going to be an amazing day. That's what I say to myself. It's going to be an amazing day. Now, I don't know what tomorrow, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily all know everything's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not a fortune teller, you know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? I'm not the Lord. But that's my attitude.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. Instead of, oh,
mm-hmm.
but tomorrow's Friday, so everybody's going to be happy because you ever notice how everybody's happy on Friday?
And it's a long weekend.
We're
recording this going into Labor Day, so it's a long weekend this weekend.
But you know what? It should be that way every day.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be that way every day. And, like I said, sometimes, it takes unfortunate things to happen
mm-hmm.
to make you realize that.
Yeah.
It does. And that's a lesson. See, everything we're doing right here is a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It's a learning lesson. What can you learn from this? How can you use it? If you learn it and it's not applicable, what good does it do to learn it?
Mm-hmm.
Guy downstairs today, one little boy comes in, he says, well, we took a test today in West Virginia history. I said to him, Landon, you know the best way to learn West Virginia history? He said, no, not really. I said, get in the car and go see things.
Yep.
I said, West Virginia's got some of the coolest things. I didn't even know they had. So I see that road tripping on WCHS. That guy goes out to these places and I see, and I mean, it's just unreal, some of the cool stuff. Oh, yeah. And when you go and you put yourself in the story and you got a memory, you'll never forget it.
Yep. It'll stick around.
You never forget those. You never forget those.
Yeah.
Not something you memorized to put on a test.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's close up here with the idea of the small habits and get a little takeaway from it. And that's to focus on one small, high leverage habit. Do it consistently and watch the results you get grow over time. This is the compounding power of daily action. And it's one of the most effective productivity strategies that are out there. Start small, use the high leverage of the habit to make it better, and be consistent. And you will see the results. But we also see results each and every week here on Shooting It Straight when we get from our own Coach Clayton his wisdom of the week.
Now it's time for Jimmy's Wisdom of the Week. This is where Jimmy shares one of his famous Jimmyisms to inspire the listener.
Okay, Jim. Today's Wisdom of the Week quote. We had two, and you said, let's get, you let me pick this one because it's the one I found that I really liked. And it's, the problem is not lack of time, but lack of direction. Break that down.
Okay, well, here's the deal. We all got 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us. Our brain is set on 24-hour scales. Today, tomorrow, next day, 24 hours, okay? So what are you going to get done in those 24 hours? Okay, at 12:01, today ends. I mean, it ends. So it just, everybody thinks, well, I'll get that tomorrow. Well, last time I checked, tomorrow's not a day.
Right.
And then I'll get that tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Then it comes back to what?
They just keep pushing it
on. There's that. Then that stress starts to build. There's that procrastination. We already talked about those things. Okay. Yes. So, it's just, I look at that, and that is such a simple quote.
Mm-hmm.
Simple idea. But for some reason, everybody, it's like a hurdle they just fall over.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. It amazes me because, I've always had points in time where I thought I was going to do the exact same thing, and I found ways to get around it. I found ways to achieve. I found ways to move forward. So it's like, to me, like seeing someone fail all the time, seeing someone who's running out of time because they haven't had the direction to keep themselves going. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, some things in life, you just can't understand how people do. Because, I'm not them. I don't know their circumstances, but
right. We don't know what's going on in their head.
Oh yeah. And everybody's got issues.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on. Some more prevalent than others.
Right.
But I ain't judging on any of them.
No, not at all.
Stories. But I mean, again, 24 hours, it's one of them things that when you look back, when you get my age and look back, you think about, man, I don't want to waste any day. I don't want to waste days. I want to get the most out of today. And in order to do that, we've given you a plan today, of things to do. Little day, all the things we talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
Those all add up to this.
Yeah.
And say it one more time for them.
What was that?
Say that quote one more time for them.
Our wisdom of the week was, the problem is not a lack of time, but a lack of direction.
Yeah. And so we all got the same amount of time. But, back in the old days, I don't think they have them now. Mm-hmm. On the playgrounds, they had merry-go-rounds.
Yeah.
And you jump on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember breaking one guy I graduated from high school with. He was a leading prosecutor in Huntington.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going around there so fast, he threw him off and he broke his arm.
Yeah.
And of course, he's a good friend of mine, everything, but they took it out. Okay, because it's going around and around and around. And when you're going around and around and around, here's my question. Are you really going anywhere?
Exactly.
Are you really going anywhere? Now, you you got movement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kid said to me one time in class, or in gym, he says, Coach, where's the air conditioner? Where's the air conditioner? This is a long time ago before gyms were actually air conditioned.
Right.
I said, I'm going to tell you what the air conditioner is. It all depends on how fast you run. So when you run by me, I'm going to feel the fan from you.
Nice.
He looked at me and goes, I ain't liking that. I said, I didn't think you probably would. But if you're running hard, I got a good fan on me. But, you got to have direction. You got to know where you're going. I mean, all roads lead somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just have better road maps or GPSs.
Right.
You'll get there eventually. But see, that's the difference between what they call a trailblazer, okay, which actually there's no road. They cut it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Or somebody just drives down the road after it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like in my business, 35 years ago, there was no such thing as what I'm doing.
Yeah. You were the man.
Now they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that, would I be jealous of that? Heck no. The fact that people thought that idea was cool enough that they could go do it and make a living and be successful at it must have meant that
you were onto something good.
I was on to something.
Yeah.
But, according to my first grade teacher, I was not going to mount to a hill of beans.
Yeah.
Now, how's she going to tell me that in first grade?
Uh-huh.
And you know how first graders are.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that teaches that out there, anybody that teaches
They are
kindergarten,
saints.
oh my gosh, you got that right. Oh, they're walking angels.
My wife has pre-K. So it's their first,
Oh.
for most of them, it's their first experience in the school. And it is, she had a rough very first day last week. So I totally understand it.
And I mean, but that's where the action is, because when you're down there with those kids, you never know. Everything is off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a bad bone in their body. They're just saying stuff like, where did that one come from?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but that was a good one.
Yeah.
And, but you got to have direction. You got to know where you're going for. You can go. Don't just get in the car and go.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you get there, you're going to know why you're there.
Yeah.
Because you got a plan, you got a purpose, you got a direction, you got the details, you got it all lined up. And the only thing you're waiting on is, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. You can't wait.
Awesome.
You can't wait because you're ready. And, every great idea, there's a time that needs to come to fruitation. You know what I mean? It needs to come. And when you get to there, what a great feeling.
Oh, yes.
But it takes time. And that doesn't mean, look at where you started and look where I am. Now, if I was still doing the exact same thing now that when I started, I ain't grown any.
Right.
So once you put those videos out you used to do, are you kidding me? Those things would be biggest blooper tapes ever in America now. I don't do that. I'm not putting that out there.
Yeah.
And that was good for that time.
Right.
But that time is gone.
Yes. Yes.
And it ain't coming back.
Right. All right. So thank you for that, Jim, for that wisdom of the week. We appreciate it tremendously. We have covered a lot today. We've talked about how your mindset sets the stage for productivity, how to recognize and overcome procrastination and the triggers of it. And we've talked about the difference between working harder and working smart, and the power of small daily habits that compound over time. If you take one thing from today, let it be this. Focus on your mindset first.
Yep.
Pick one small habit to start consistently. Pay attention to how you respond to stress and or challenges. Those little shifts create momentum, and that momentum will carry you forward more than any app or system or calendar or planner or anything you could have in your life. So thanks for joining us on this episode of Shooting It Straight. We hope the discussion gives you a new perspective on productivity, and we're going to keep talking about productivity. We got several more episodes lined up here, and hopefully you've gained a few practical steps that you can try this week. Remember, it's not about doing more. It's about thinking differently, about acting consistently, and working smart. If you do make some of these practical steps this week, make these changes, let us know about it by leaving a comment on the post for this episode over at shootingitstraightpodcast.com/010. Or there's a contact form on our website. You can use that as well to send us an email. And we'd love to hear about the impact that this has had on you this week. Next week on Shooting It Straight, we're diving into a topic that trips up just about everyone, and that's decision fatigue. From the moment you wake up, your day is filled with choices. And by the time evening rolls around, your brain is worn down. But what if you could cut through the noise, save your energy for what really matters, and actually make better decisions? We'll break down how small changes in routine can free up mental space, how successful people structure their days to avoid burnout, and what you can do to keep your focus sharp. It's a practical, straight shooting conversation that you will not want to miss. Just some closing announcements. Reminder that we record these episodes every Thursday at approximately 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us by heading over to shootingitstraightpodcast.com/live or via a modern podcast app. Also, join our Discord community. We've created the space there for listeners to connect, ask questions, share insights, and keep the conversation going beyond the podcast. Join now by heading over to shootingitstraightpodcast.com/Discord. And we also have a Facebook page dedicated to the podcast where you can see updates and posts related to the show. You can head over to shootingitstraightpodcast.com/Facebook to access the page and give us a follow. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you are subscribed and you share it with someone. And follow us online at shootingitstraightpodcast.com. That's where you'll find every episode, updates, and more. Until next time, I'm Randy Black.
And I'm Coach Jim Clayton.
Don't just work hard, work smart. Let your mindset guide your actions.
And always keep shooting it straight. Bam, son!